Welcome back. We've been talking about, with Deb Way, we've been talking about her acute inpatient rehab unit up on the 3rd floor in the hospital, and about the various things to get folks back to their highest level that they possibly can, get back to their activities of daily living as much as they can. So, but talk to us more too. Wanted to be sure we don't run out of time and talk about our Center for Individual and Family Development, which is located out in Gassville.
Right.
Almost said Cotter, but over in Gassville.
We have a really beautiful clinic that is set up over there. And as Cecile was talking about earlier with the older adults and some of the changes that occur, lots of times caregivers, and they need someone too. And the beauty of this program is people whose parents are going through some very difficult life-changing things, and say you're the caregiver, you might want to think about coming to the center to talk about your stress and your grief, because as a parent declines, you grieve. And I don't know that we often take a breath and go, why do I feel so tired? What's wrong? Well, part of what's wrong is you're grieving as things are changing. And so, that's one of the things that we have that we can offer. When the patients go home from Hensley Behavioral Health, they can be followed in the outpatient clinic. But the clinic is not age restrictive. We treat children all the way through the geriatric population. We help people that are adjusting to loss. And
when we say loss, we think, most of us think it's a physical loss of a death.
No.
But, as Deb was explaining, when those roles start reversing and you're becoming the caretaker and the one that makes those decisions for the parents, that's a major loss.
Huge.
And caretakers don't stop and think, if they don't take care of themselves, they're not going to be able to continue taking care of whomever they're taking care of.
Of being in healthcare for so many years, that was always one of my biggest concerns, was that the health giver was going to end up in the hospital.
And we see that a lot of times.
Before the other person
Exactly.
that they were taking care of.
Exactly. You have to take care of yourself or you can't help anyone else.
I think that's wonderful that you're doing that. And because a lot of times the caregiver, especially if it's an adult child child, still is treated as a child by the parent. I mean, the parents aren't willing to necessarily let them accept their role of becoming the caregiver or the person responsible for things. It's a huge challenge.
It is, and I've heard it called the powdered bottom syndrome, and that if they've changed the diaper, then you're not the authority.
Yeah, exactly. How could you possibly know anything?
Right.
I'm the parent.
Right.
That's right.
So you run into a lot of things like that. But I love the focus now. Are you doing anything with the schools locally?
We have been in the past. This year, the contract, when school ends, we're no longer involved in the school-based program. But we have some new avenues that are opening up to us that we hope to pursue this fall. We're going to go through the summer treating, the family and the child and doing some home visits to make sure that everything that the child may have gained through the year with behavioral changes, we can make sure that continues through the summer.
Right.
And we're also seeing a lot of people that are losing things, and I think right now the socioeconomic things that are happening, loss of job becomes a tremendous stressor. Because after you introduce yourself, what's the next thing? Oh, I'm an OT, or I'm a marketer.
Right.
That's an identity thing. So we're trying to reach out and provide the kind of support that people need to make adjustments. Losing a job is not something that is necessarily wrong with you as a worker. Our society and the things that are happening right now, our economy is a little more fragile than we're used to.
Right.
So, we're trying to work with that.
And then you get into the depression that you were talking about. I would
the
imagine
suicide rate comes into
suicide,
play.
a lot of alcoholism.
A lot of self-medication with alcohol and other drugs. And they can be prescription drugs. They're just misused.
We also offer like family and marital couples counseling, the stressors of losing a job or the demands of work and the demands of children and demands of parenting and caregiving for your own parent, those can take a toll on relationships. So we try to offer to our couples the counseling to help them reconnect and stay focused.
Wonderful.
You know, it's hard to prioritize your 24 hours a day when you really need 28. So you have to, as a couple and then as a family, decide how do we move forward.
And so many times the counseling are easy to do. I don't know how to say it. They're not quick fixes, but they're simplistic enough to say, you know, just try this. And give this a try.
Yes, I recently talked to a mother that has a schizophrenic child, and well, the child's an adult, 20, but and she was seeking some information and to go through family counseling to help learn how to deal with those things would be very helpful for them. You know, that is something that we've identified, even just for the family caretakers, even if it's a child, but just learning about the illness and ways of coping and dealing with that child.
I always know I always loved when groups would get together, nurses in particular, dealing with the dementias, that would get together and say, okay, we tried this, we tried that.
Oh, yeah.
You know, these are things that work.
Yeah.
So
the senior networking group is great for that sort of thing.
But the counseling is wonderful, all of those benefits that are there for folks.
We're trying to come up with a holistic approach, not only on our individual units and all the other nursing units, but a holistic approach that from the point of entry through our system, you know, we have a marvelous home health program. We have this wonderful outpatient clinic so that we can provide a continuity of care and holistic to what people need. You know, you're more than what your x-ray tells you. You know, I'm more than how many times I cry.
Yeah.
You know, there is a need to validate all of us individuals and to validate the stressors that we're dealing with. And, yeah, they're hard and they're painful. And, you know, you're absolutely right. There's not an easy fix for any of this.
But there's tools to help you get through it, to get better, and to get beyond it, and to know that there is a beyond.
That's right.
So all of those things are just...
And our center,
so excited about all of this.
And, you know, out at the clinic, you can call 870-453-5511 and ask for information. Or if you're someone who already is considering this, you can ask your family doctor for an order.
A referral
a referral, and send it out to the center, and then we will schedule everything. We want to make it an easy process so that you have avenues that could bring you to the clinic.
Right, to get the help that's so needed. So I sure hope a whole lot of you out there today are listening carefully. Deb Way does, everything comes from her heart. And we're so glad that Cecile is here with us today as well. So we've got new programs coming out at the Center for Individual and Family Development. That's right on 62 in Gassville. On the right-hand side, just...
Right before McDonald's.
I was going to say, is it before or after McDonald's?
Right before.
Everybody knows.
Right before McDonald's.
Right before McDonald's, yeah. So when you go in for that sweet tea, stop there first. But the number again, Deb?
870-453-5511.
Okay. And Cecile, the number again?
Yes, if you have questions or you wonder if our unit might help, the number is 870-508-6400. Feel free to call and ask questions.
Yeah, and that's something too. Please educate yourself. There's so many wonderful resources in this county, in this area, that I don't think people are always aware of. They feel so alone, and you're not.
Oh, no.
You have help available to you. Please pick up the phone, make the calls. If you don't remember the numbers we've given you today, 870-508-1000 is the hospital. Ask for Deb Way.
And they can direct you wherever you need.
And then you can track her down. So, ladies, thank you so much for being
you,
here
Donna.
today. This has been wonderful. It's just mental health is near and dear, of course, to my health with being married to a psychologist, so it's something that
Yeah.
that mental health is just so still. There's such a stigma, and
There
it
is.
has to go away. We've seen the results across the nation of what happens when we're not dealing
We do.
with everything that needs to be dealt with. So
That's right.
as soon as you possibly can, as soon as you see any signs at all. So,
Right.
or before, prevent the behavior before.
That's right.
So, ladies, thank you so much.
Thank you, Donna.
Thank you.
And we will see you again next week on BRMC's Healthy Connections. Thanks for joining us today.